Hello everyone. I wanted to share some tips with you for week 2, assignment 2, your annotated research paper. And what we're trying to do in this assignment and in this document is to give you practice in a couple of different things. One, because this is a Word, Excel, and PowerPoint class, we want you to learn how to format research papers using Word. And that's really, really important. We also want you to practice paraphrasing your research, and we want you to practice referencing that research. So here's your assignment, and there are many, many helps. There's a tutorial here, there's APA formatting here, and here, and here. This one would be helpful in using Word for the referencing. What you're doing is you're having a title page. I'll show you what that looks like. Then the body of the paper, this isn't really a research paper. It's at least 4 paragraphs of paraphrasing, one paragraph for each of the references that you found for week 2, assignment 1, discussion question 1. So where you found your sources, that's what you're writing a paragraph on each of those, but you're doing it in your own words. You're practicing your paraphrasing, no long quotes or anything like that. And the paraphrasing was practiced in discussion question 2. So you're just pulling that all together and adding a reference page. So you have the title page, then you have the body, it's double spaced, and it has in-text citations, okay? And then you have a running header and you have page numbers, and it shows you how to do that here. And then you have a references page, and I want to show you all of that. So here's an example of a paper, and don't be overly concerned about the content in this paper, because I've taken it from several different sources. It isn't really all about video game addiction, so don't pay any attention to that. This is the title page, the correct formatting, and in some of those resources it showed you that the title of your paper, your name, the course, and actually I have this twice. We're going to ignore that for now. So you want to get rid of that line. And then let me turn on the show hide. It's up on the home ribbon in the paragraph group, and it says backwards letter P. And that's how your teachers know exactly what you've done in the paper. Every backwards P is where you press enter. Every little dot in vertically centered is a space. Here's a page break. There's a quick way to do a page break, and that's hold down Control and hit enter. You don't want to, at the end of your page, just press enter, 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 enter. Don't do that. Do Control Enter, or you can go to page layout, insert break, that kind of thing. To do a header, the easiest way I know how to do that is just double click at the top of your page, type in what you want, then double click outside of it, and you get out of your header. You can also go to insert and then header right here. So either of those ways, those ways work. This paper does not have page numbers, and you do want page numbers. They're also found on the insert ribbon. Anytime you want to put things into the paper, look on the insert ribbon first. So page numbers, we'll go to bottom of the page, and I'm going to choose the third option. It automatically puts it in the footer when I choose the bottom of the page. To get out of that, just double click out of that. Okay. Then we come down here. I have my title on this page, and here I have the first paragraph that I paraphrased. It doesn't matter what order they're in. It's just fine. And remember, you put this in your own words. Again, we have a backwards P. That's the end of the paragraph where I pressed enter. I'm going to turn the show hide off right now. In every paragraph, you should have an in-text citation. That will refer the reader to the references page, and so they can find the whole article and learn more about what you said, or see if what you said is what you got out of the same article. And in this in-text citation, using the last name of the author, comma, then the year, and the punctuation goes after the parentheses. So all that's in parentheses, and then your punctuation, whether it's a question mark, exclamation point, period, goes after that parentheses. The citation goes within the sentence. So this is one paragraph where I have some research and an in-text citation. Here is another paragraph, and actually there's two in-text citations. If you find related material, you can put it in the same paragraph, but you do want to have at least 4 paragraphs. So this one, as Young, mentioned the last name of the author. In parentheses, you put the year. Then down here, Fitzgerald, 2009. Now there's something red with a red squiggly line under it. That means that it could be misspelled. That's a flag for you, and it's a flag for your teacher if you submit something like that. Whenever you see it, right click, and if they you find the right word and you click on that, or if it's like a proper noun or something like that, or if it's correctly spelled, you can say ignore. Oftentimes the author's names will come up, and then you can say ignore all. If it's your name and it's coming up, I'd add it to the dictionary, or some other word that you'll be using often. I'd add it to the dictionary so that it doesn't flag it again in the future. Here's my third paragraph, and it has the citations, and there's a fourth one right here. When you're doing paragraphs, you either want an extra line, or you can use a tab to indent, and then you don't have to have that extra line. The square formatting is the most modern formatting, but you can do it either way. Now on the references page, and again, hold down Control and press Enter to get to a new page. Don't press Enter, 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 Enter. Okay, I'll show you one reason why afterwards. Here's the references page, and you center references, and you put in your citations in the correct format as good as you can do. Okay, make the best attempt that you can make. Don't let it drive you crazy, but make the best that you can. The only references that you show here are ones that you have in-text citations for above. You don't have, if you looked at other articles that you didn't use any information, don't include them on your references page. But okay, every reference here needs to have at least one in-text citation above, and every in-text citation above needs to have one reference down here. Okay, so Jones had several in-text citations. That's okay. This should be alphabetized. Okay. Sometimes you don't have an author, and then you use the title here, and your in-text citation would be the first couple words of the title. The whole goal is to direct the reader to the references to be able to find that article. On the home ribbon, there is an A to Z. That's a sorting. So if you put these in here not alphabetized, you could click on A to Z to sort them. You can also select them with this left pointing arrow. If it's 2 lines, let's do that. If it's 2 lines, you would drag it down, select the whole thing, and then drag it to where it went. Now this isn't alphabetized now, but you saw how to sort it or move it. Control Z will undo what you've just done, and so that's always a good thing to know. I also wanted to show you how you can do the hanging indent for your references, because that's important too. If you will go to your view ribbon and make sure that the ruler is turned on, then you can see it horizontally across the top and vertically down the side. Once you turn it on one time, it should be there all the time, and I just work with it on all the time. If you highlight all of your references, because this formatting is only going to take effect on a selected group of text. So we're highlighting our references, and even though I didn't highlight all of this last line, it's highlighted the paragraph, which is the level of formatting that we're doing. On the top ruler, I'm going to see this little triangle that's pointing up. I want to grab that. Sometimes they both come over, that's okay. I just take it 2 clicks over, 1, 2, and then the top one, move it back to that line. And what this one does, if you hold your cursor over, it will tell you that that's the first line indent. So you see how the dotted line comes down, and all of the first lines line up with that. If I move my cursor over this, it tells me that that's the hanging indent. If I hold my left mouse button down, it shows this dotted line, and that's where all second and subsequent lines, even if you had a whole bunch of lines, they would all line up even with this upward pointing arrow. It's pretty easy once you know how to do it. It's pretty painful when you don't. Practice it, I know you'll get it. One other thing I wanted to show you is, if you're used to doing enter, 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 enter for things to move things down, what happens is oftentimes without your knowing it, then you, okay, here I'm seeing 2 pages, and I'm just taking a look to see what the pages look like. There's a blank page at the end. Okay, many times that comes through. You always want to delete any blank pages at the end. One way you can do that is do Control End, and it gets you to the very bottom of your document. Then you can just backspace until you find your last words. You can also turn on the Show Hide and highlight all those enters and delete them, but not everybody wants to do that. So you can do that any way you like. I hope this has been helpful. Give this your best shot. Turn it in early if you can. Ask your instructors help, and it can be this can be frustrating, but it also can be very satisfying. It can be interesting research, and it will help you in your formatting in all of your research papers. Thanks so much, and have fun learning.